Running Back Nation, what is good? Sixers, sickos, what is good? This might be a hot take. And I'm going to tell you why that was on the thumbnail. I want to talk to you about, Tyrese Maxey's ascension every single offseason so far, the rate at which he has developed, and why I believe he could play at an MVP level this upcoming season. Is it possible for him to win MVP? We'll talk about my opinion on that, but I definitely do think Tyrese Maxey, without a doubt, seriously, not a doubt in my mind, probably will be playing at an MVP level this upcoming season, and that makes the Sixers really fucking good. Really good. That makes the Sixers better than Paul George makes them. That makes the Sixers better than Joel Embiid maybe staying healthy. We're going to get into it. But we are going to bet on MVP over on BetUS. This is brought to you by our friends at BetUS, by the way.
BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook and casino. Live betting and racebook. We're celebrating 30 years with a historic offer. A 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Plus 10% gambler's insurance. Get started today. BetUS, where the game begins.
And we go over to BetUS website under MVP Awards. And Tyrese Maxey is on here at a plus 25,000. The same odds as Damian Lillard, Domantas Sabonis, Paolo Banchero, Jimmy Butler, and our very own Paul George. We're going to click on Tyrese Maxey at plus 25,000. We're going to drop 20 on that to pay out 5 G's. That's right, BetUS. You're going to be paying me 5 G's when what I'm about to say comes true. Lock it in, confirm. You can get a 125% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000 over on BetUS by using the link in my description. Thank you to BetUS for sponsoring the channel. Now, here's what we got to talk about. Tyrese Maxey has elevated his game every single offseason. And it's as simple as just looking at the stats between the years. This is going to be his 5th year in the league. He's 23 years old, right? But he went from 8 points per game coming off the bench, back when Doc Rivers was rotating him and Shake Milton, and randomly, Game 7 against the Hawks played George Hill over both of those guys for no reason whatsoever other than the fact that he's Doc Rivers. 8 points per game off the bench as a rookie, okay? Probably should have had more playing time as a rookie. The very next season, gets thrown into the fire as a starting point guard because Ben Simmons bitched up like I predicted he would because he's bitch made. And Tyrese Maxey, who is not bitch made, averages 17.5 points per game that season. The next season after that, James Harden, that helped Tyrese Maxey's scoring. It helped his confidence. It helped him. He learned a lot of ISO stuff from James Harden. Don't want to get into all of that, but 20.3 points per game there. And James Harden bitches up. All right? And you can talk about Daryl Morey and agreeing to money or whatever, but you didn't get paid because you looked 49 years old in the playoffs. The next season, no James Harden, no real expectations. Tyrese Maxey averages 25.9 points per game. 29, 4, and 6 on 45% from the field and 37% from 3. That's a crazy leap in one off season. And what I believe is you're going to see another crazy leap this season. There's no reason why. And I said this when he averaged 17.5, and y'all told me he wouldn't average 20. And when he averaged 20, I said he's going to be a 25-point per game all-star this upcoming season. Y'all told me he won't be a 25-point per game all-star, and God damn it, he was a 25-point per game all-star. So there's nothing stopping me from believing he's going to take that to another level this upcoming season. And what is that level? Well, let's look at the last guards to win MVP, okay? Russell Westbrook, 2016-17. Then you got Steph Curry, of course, the best shooter of all time. That's an anomaly. You can't really compare there, although Tyrese Maxey's shooting percentages are somewhat similar. We're not going to call him Steph Curry. Derrick Rose, who was a freak athlete, Sucks that the injuries that he had, derailed his career a bunch of times. Derrick Rose was amazing. So much fun to watch. If some of you young kids haven't watched Derrick Rose back in 2010-11, just go have some fun on YouTube, all right? Steve Nash, Magic Johnson. It's not many. That's point guards, all right? Shooting guards, which I consider Tyrese Maxey one. I don't think I really consider him a point guard, but James Harden a lot of times was considered a point guard and is still called a point guard right now, especially as his athleticism declines and he's more of a facilitator. But, he's on the list of shooting guards, at least on statmuse.com, for shooting guards to win MVP. James Harden is on there. Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson, Michael Jordan. God, don't even look at Michael Jordan's numbers. They're astronomical. They make everybody else look mediocre. He was unbelievable, especially for his time. But anyway, what I want to look at is the points per game of these shooting guards that won MVP, the percentages, how many shots per game they got up. Because if you look at Tyrese Maxey's shots per game over the years, field goal attempts. Where's field goal attempts? Field goal attempts. Here you go. Year 2, 13.3. Year 3, 15.2. Last season was the first season he got up 20 shots per game, and he was a 26 point per game All-Star. All right. So you look at James Harden, for example. He was actually shooting very high percentages. His efficiency this season, this 2017-18 season was crazy. He averaged 30.4 points per game. This wasn't even the season where he averaged 35 or 36, but he averaged 30 points per game, 37% from 345 from the field. He got up 20.1 shots per game, the exact same amount of shots per game that Tyrese Maxey got up last season. His assists were 8.8 because he's James Harden. Tyrese Maxey, I don't think, has point guard, a natural point guard facilitating mentality like James Harden has. James Harden's one of the best passers of a basketball I've ever seen, no matter what I think about him as a person. Kobe Bryant, this is where kind of the angle that I want to take here, because Kobe Bryant in 2007, 2008 won MVP, right? And I said to myself, what about that 2001 season where Allen Iverson won MVP, but Kobe Bryant's Lakers won the NBA championship? So I went to 2001, and his numbers are actually kind of almost the same in 2001 as they were in 2007, 2008. It's just his three-point percentage was a little higher. He averaged 28.5 points per game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 30% from 46% from the field on about 22 shots. He did not win MVP in 2001 because he was feeding the ball to Shaquille O'Neal in the paint. He was young at that age. I think he was 20, maybe 21 years old at the time. And, Shaq was the most dominant center of all time at that time, so it was hard to give Kobe Bryant MVP. But as soon as he, had a season like that without a Shaq on his team, where it's just Pau Gasol and Andrew Bynum and who else was on that damn team? Lamar Odom. There was a lot of good players on that team, but no other superstars. And he won MVP in 2007, 2008 with pretty similar numbers, 28, 6, and 5, 45 from the field, but 36 from 3, where he was 30% from 3 when he was younger. The reason I'm saying this is that I believe Tyrese Maxey can play at this level, the scoring, the percentages, and everything, as any of these guards. Probably not Michael Jordan. His percentages are outrageous. But James Harden, Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson, the last 3 shooting guards to win MVP, or Russell Westbrook, Steph Curry, Derrick Rose, Steve Nash. He can score at the same level. He can shoot the same percentages as all of those players. But he probably won't win MVP, and he most likely can't win MVP because he has Joel Embiid and Paul George on his team. And to win MVP, you really gotta, you gotta be a great player, having a great season, and you almost have to lift a team higher than they should be without really any other superstars on your team. Nikola Jokic won it twice, I think, maybe 3 times. I don't know. I lost count. I stopped paying attention. Joel Embiid didn't have any all-stars on his team when he won it. Giannis won it the year before that. Did Giannis have all-stars on his team? My point is, Tyrese Maxey's not really going to be considered MVP because he has 2 all-star players on his team, and he has a former MVP who's, when healthy, still at an MVP level on his team. But he can play at the level of an MVP. And Tyrese Maxey playing at an MVP level is dangerous for the NBA, because when's the last time an NBA team had two players playing at an MVP level? When is the last time an NBA team had two players playing at an MVP level who were not redundant? You know, two players who can play at MVP levels in two separate positions that fit well together. It's almost like if you got, and I'm not saying Maxey was Harden in his prime, but Harden and Joel Embiid were good together. But imagine if it was prime Harden and prime Joel Embiid, how dangerous that would have been. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not putting Maxey on that level exactly, but I think he could put up similar numbers, and that's dangerous for the NBA. The last thing I want to say on this video is that what I saw in that Knicks series was the arrival of superstar Tyrese Maxey. This past season and the season before, we saw all-star potential. And this past season, we saw all-star, not an all-star starter, but all-star. And we saw, 25.9 points per game on pretty good numbers and some leadership qualities. But as soon as the playoffs started, as soon as this Knicks series kicked off, this was the first time Tyrese Maxey was relied upon as a major scoring option on the team. And it was the first time he was put in a situation where we said, we need you to get buckets against one of what I thought was the best defenses in the NBA. And I still think it was probably the best defense last year. Seriously physical, could switch everything, could rotate. We said, we need you to get buckets with the pressure the highest against the best defense in the league. He could have folded. He stepped up once again. Tyrese Maxey is an elevator. Tyrese Maxey is the pressure pushes him to go higher. You don't find athletes like this very often. And with the pressure the highest against a great defense, he averaged 35 and 7 on 48% from the field and 40% from three on 23 shots per game. So what I'm saying is this arrival of Tyrese Maxey in this New York Knicks series, that's the new Tyrese Maxey. This is the new expectation. So just think about what's going to happen this upcoming season when you get this Tyrese Maxey the whole regular season against the rest of the NBA, including the Detroit Pistons and the Charlotte Hornets and the scrubs of the land. If he did that against the New York Knicks, what's he going to do this upcoming season against the rest of the NBA? And I'm telling you right now, there's not a doubt in my mind that it's going to be an MVP level season for Tyrese Maxey. I don't think he's going to win MVP because, again, he has too much help on the roster. But his numbers, he's going to be damn unstoppable. And if everybody stays healthy, the Sixers could very well win a championship this upcoming season. And most of it, a large part of it, is going to be because Tyrese Maxey is going to be a clear-cut, bona fide NBA superstar this season. That's all I wanted to say. Let me know if it's a hot take. I love you guys, man, and I'll see you very soon. Peace.